was to give you a proper backstory, all right? So there is a woman, and she wrote the book MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios. She spurred this whole idea that's going around at Marvel, talking about, that Kevin Feige mentioned to her, and he gave her a quote that was very close to him kind of saying, we're going to be rebooting this thing, and that, we are going to be bringing back old characters somehow. So, and so she's kind of been blowing up on her podcast. And today on her podcast, she mentioned the fact that, Kang the Conqueror is most likely going to be dropped by Marvel, and that they're going to go with Doctor Doom, obviously due to, Jonathan Majors' case, but also, in the eyes of Marvel, they're kind of feeling like, you know, Loki could possibly close off Kang for right now. And, and they feel like they could kind of go into another villain at the moment. And also, just one of the main reasons being that, if Jonathan Majors is guilty, and let's be honest, he is an uncastable character. When you put a generational actor like Jonathan Majors in a role like that, it doesn't matter who you cast. It's not going to fill the shoes that Jonathan Majors was able to do. So that's kind of been, the big rumor that's been going around. Josh from Den Nerds made a video about this. Everyone on X was going crazy about it today. So I'm going to get into my opinion first, and then I'll let Comic Cuts tell you how he feels. So a lot of I was already pro Doctor Doom. I was more of pro both, because you shouldn't do Secret Wars without Doctor Doom. The way that I feel about the whole Doctor Doom thing and King the Conqueror is that I think Jonathan Majors is a great actor, and I do love that King the Conqueror is in the MCU. The more and more that I kind of been watching the content with Marvel, and the more and more that I've been kind of thinking about the future for the MCU, I kind of don't, I kind of, I kind of don't like the fact that they kind of made Kang the main big bad in this, MCU story and all of this jazz. I do wish that they kind of went with the Doctor Doom stuff earlier. I do feel like going with Doctor Doom is going to be better, more so because of the state of the MCU. The MCU right now is in such a crazy place because of products like the Marvels and Secret Invasion not doing well and all that jazz, that they need a character that is going to be menacing, and that's going to set the tone for what the next 5 to 10 years is going to be. And to me, you have to go with a character like Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom is menacing, and Doctor Doom also grazes over almost every Marvel character to date. So I really like this idea of them leaving the King the Conqueror stuff, even if Jonathan Majors beats the case, and they still continue with him, because we don't know if this is confirmed yet. I would still want Doctor Doom to still be the big bad, behind Kang, because as much as I like Kang, and as much as I like Jonathan Majors, I don't think that Kang as the only big and bad villain is going to be the best thing. Even if you go the Beyonder Kang route, to where Kang is the Beyonder, and that's not to say, and that's not to knock down Jonathan Majors' acting skills, but it's just because I just don't want that, to be honest. And another sign to this is that Jeff Loveness, the guy who basically has written everything for King, he's written all the material for King the Conqueror. He has been rumored to be dropped by Marvel Studios, and if he is dropped, that really means that they might be going down that road to kind of putting King the Conqueror out of here.
Listen, the problem with this whole thing is that if Jonathan Majors is guilty, and there's a possibility that Jonathan Majors is guilty and is going to, catch a guilty sentence and conviction. And forget sentence, sorry, conviction, because with what I'm saying, conviction is enough. Like, if he is convicted, with the possibility that Jonathan Majors might be convicted, Marvel has to pivot in advance of that, because if he is convicted and they keep him and they don't change anything, and Kang Dynasty is coming out, and Jonathan Majors is convicted of assaulting a woman, they're gonna have a serious problem on their hands. And by pivoting now, they're gonna save themselves from the fallout of that possibility. It sucks, but that's where we are. And I think that, listen, I think that Marvel, it sucks. I love Kang. I want to see the Kang story, play out to the very end. I think we're going to get robbed. And I think that, listen, it's interesting because when this story first broke about Jonathan Majors, there were a bunch of rumors flying around that Marvel is going to drop Jonathan Majors and et cetera, et cetera. I think Marvel was smart to not let that rumor play out at that time. It just was going to be a bad look. Like, no matter what, if Marvel did drop Jonathan Majors at that time, you were going to catch the innocent and proven until proven guilty, which, listen, I very much empathize with that stance. I think that that's something that the era of social media has kind of ruined in this country, in the court of public opinion. But aside of all that, like, now it seems like we're going to just get a Doctor Doom story and we're not going to get a Kang story. And the fact is, if we're going to get a Doctor Doom story, like, this is the end of the MCU. We're at the final road.
Whoa!
It is. I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why.
How is it the end of the MCU, though?
Because who are they going to do after Doctor Doom? Like, you don't get better than Doctor Doom. So the bar is going to go to the ceiling, and they don't have a villain that they can do after that. So they're going to have to reboot after Doctor Doom.
That's the point, bro. That's the point. That's the point. The point is to reboot after Doom.
So,
that's the point. This is going to be the big final story.
So at least with Kang, this era of the MCU would have been drawn out more. We would have gotten Kang the Conqueror, who's an amazing villain, and now, like, that's getting scrapped. It sucks. No matter which way you look at it, I don't care how big of a Doctor Doom fan you are. Like, it sucks that we are not going to get this Kang story.
Yeah, because Majors is special. Majors is special. I mean, he was supposed to be the greatest villain ever. And
it's not just the fact that Majors is special. I mean, he is, but, like, Majors is special. Kang is an amazing villain, and the stars were completely aligned to have something great. And now you got this guy who's just like, it's just so irresponsible. And it's crazy because, like, if you think of how rare and special and difficult it is to be casted in Hollywood as a character like Kang the Conqueror, for you to royally screw it up to this degree, that's crazy, bro.
No. Majors is an idiot. I mean, let's just keep it stacked. Majors is an idiot for this.
Yeah.
I mean, because and then I also blame Marvel Studios, because here's the thing: you can't put all your chips into one guy. You can't do that. And one of the things that I loved about the 11-year run, yes, Thanos was the guy at the end that they had to fight, but the whole entire universe wasn't, like, solely dependent on Thanos. You know what I mean? Like, we had Ultron, we had Loki, we had all these other, villains that were kind of, taking over each Avengers film leading up to Thanos. And like, when you put your all into one character, I mean, even with the Avengers, right? We had Iron Man, we had Cap, we had Thor, we had Black Widow. Not everything lived and died on RDJ and Chris Evans. And to be honest, when right after Endgame, it wasn't like that until we started getting a bunch of trash projects, and obviously that destroyed everything that we know. But just saying, like, you don't, like, why would you put all of your chips into one guy? Like, it could have been where Kang sending a bunch of different people, and I get it, right? Kang has variants, cool, it makes sense, but at the same time, like, when you put all of your chips on one guy, it will never work.